I pretty much grew up in Hagerstown. I went to school at Fountaindale and North Potomac, the old Hagerstown High School, and North High. And I left and went to Gettysburg College, was a business marketing major. And then in 2000, I joined my dad up here in the practice. Dad had been in the practice, the business since '76. My brother had joined in 1992, so I had to get, brother and father's blessing to come to work and come back home and did that. I'm a certified financial planner. From a business standpoint, I think that has value to our clients, when we're trying to help them with investment advisory, wealth management related work. I do a lot of nonprofit work, so I think that helps bringing some of that financial expertise to the table when you're volunteering and going into leadership roles with the various nonprofits that we've gotten involved with. Family is very important to me. I feel pretty fortunate, right, with the opportunity this community has presented. So I think giving back is really important. My parents kind of taught me that. They were very involved in the church that they belonged to. Dad was a Rotarian for many, many years in the Long Meadow Rotary. My mom helped raise money to put the elevator in our church. And I remember my dad being on the phone trying to sell advertisements for the radio stations for his Rotary and the Rotary swim meet. If I were to win Business Person of the Year, it's a wonderful, accolade. Knowing the other two candidates, you can't go wrong. I think they're all wonderful members of the community. You might say validation of taking the time to give back. I'm a vote with your feet guy, right? And so if you are out there leaning in and not just volunteering to say you're on a board, but actually doing something on that board, or doing something for your clients, maybe this is a little validation of that. But like I said, Chamber can't go wrong.
So I was born in Hagerstown, went to local schools, graduated from North High in 1967. And I got to tell you, the 60s were just a wonderful time to grow up. It was sort of the sweet spot of America. A lot of great things going on. Hagerstown was on a roll. Mack Truck had just gotten here. Fairchild was still here. Loved public school, learned how to play sports, and made lifelong friends. It was an idyllic childhood. I had never heard of this organization, but I joined an organization called the Hagerstown JCs. It was a group of young men that hoped someday to maybe be a business leader. But what it did was create this strong camaraderie among a lot of people that were interested in success. And I think it taught us all a lot about leadership and giving back and how to help the community. And that was probably one of the single best things that happened to me as a young adult. The best way to grow as a person is to try to help somebody else. And it gave me a little bit of a foundation for giving back. I've lived, obviously, in College Park for 4 years, but then I also lived in New York and Philadelphia for a while in training. And I guess I gained an appreciation for what Hagerstown had to offer, having lived away. And I always felt as though, we were close enough to the city that we could enjoy the cultural benefits, but we were far enough away in Hagerstown that we missed a lot of the negative metropolitan influence. So because of that and the fact that Mack Truck and Fairchild and Pangborn, Moeller, Oregon, and all these great companies were established here, there was a lot of philanthropy that developed here. And as a result, Little Old Hagerstown has a wonderful museum, as I mentioned. Little Old Hagerstown has one of the premier theaters in the state. Hagerstown houses the Maryland Symphony. And I would argue we now have the best community college in the state of Maryland. We are so fortunate to have so many things that very few small towns the size of Hagerstown across the country have. So this is a great place to live.
Hi, I'm Julie Rahm. I'm the property manager here at Valley Mall in Hagerstown, Maryland, but I'm also the regional manager for Preet Services LLC. In 1999, I took the role of marketing director for the Valley Mall here, and we expanded the mall, doubling it in size. In 2004, I got promoted to the assistant manager here at the property, and then in 2007, I became the property manager. In my early years, I decided that I was going to volunteer in as many organizations as I could. Because of your involvement and the deeper you get into the community, you can help with community efforts that have nothing to do with you but that you're passionate about, one being the downtown. For the mall industry, we seek national tenants from all around the country and all around the world. And when we're trying to sell someone on Hagerstown, Maryland, one of the first things they do is they Google downtown Hagerstown. I think it's very important to value where you live, work, play. If you're going to reside there, why wouldn't you want it to be the ultimate experience for you and your family as well as others that come in? The mall is a different place than when it was in the 70s when the malls became a trendy thing and they were building all over. In the 80s, they were the place to go hang out. In the 90s, they were the place that you got all the trendy goods you needed. When you hit 2000, things started to ebb and flow with the internet coming on board. Everybody thought that the mall was going to become a dinosaur. Well, what we needed to do is we needed to reinvent it. We needed to take a chance and look at what the experience we want people to have 10 years from now and start developing it. So I feel like we were ahead of the game as long as the internet's concerned, because the internet is a place where people shop. It's not going away. But you don't have the full experience. You come here and dine. You have a movie to see. Inside Tilt, there's an indoor laser tag and indoor mini golf. We have a food court for a quick, fun snack. You don't necessarily have to shop to have an experience here because we give you other things to do. It would be a huge honor to be named Business Person of the Year. I think that would be very hard for me to understand why, because there's so many people that are qualified. But I would be very honored.